back to the channel. So for this one today we're going to be making bread. It's a pretty awesome recipe and it's a go-to basic for me, so it's amazing. It does take a little bit of work, obviously needing the bread and things, but that's about the hardest part you're going to get. But yeah, it's kind of a nice process to make bread, and also it takes some anger out if you need to, or a bit of stress, just kind of giving it a whack. But yeah, please give it a go, let me know how you get on and we'll show you how to make it. So to start off making our bread, we're going to need a kilo of flour or 1,000 grams of strong bread flour. So you can either use white or brown for this. And then what we're going to then add is some yeast. So we're going to need 2 7-gram bags for this. So I'm using dried yeast. So we're just going to get that added in. Once I can get the bags open. So we're going to smush this out. I'm going to get this added on one side of the bowl. Then we're going to add some salt in. So you're probably going to need a couple of teaspoons to the other side of the bowl. Probably add that much. And then we're going to add some water. So this is going to be lukewarm water. So you don't want it too hot because otherwise it will kill the yeast. So you're going to need 700 ml of that. So I'm just going to make my water a bit cooler. So we're going to start by slowly adding in our water. I'm just going to make sure I've got 700-ish. I'm just going to slowly add it in and mix with a spoon. If you've got a stand mixer and you want to do it in that, that's fine. It's just I've not got that attachment for my mixer yet. I'm kind of having to do this by hand. So yeah, you want this to kind of come together. Till it's kind of like a shaggy ball. So I'm going to slowly work this in. Yeah, you may potentially need more water. You may not. Just depends kind of how your flour reacts to the water. So to be fair, we do need a little bit more, but that's getting there. So we'll just kind of get that over and we'll give that a stir and see what happens. And I'll come back to you once that's done. So you're just going to lightly flour your worktop, and then we're going to tip it all out onto the side. You may potentially, have some flour still left in there, but that will kind of work in anyway. And we're going to knead this for 10 minutes. And I know it's a long time, but you can get your aggression out doing this. Fantastic way to do that. So yeah, I'm just going to casually knead it until it gets a bit more kind of together and not less kind of clumpy. And I'll come back to you guys in like a couple of minute stages just to show you guys how it's going on. So we're at the about a minute stage, so you can see it's kind of starting to come together. So I'm just putting the lumps in that have kind of came off the sides. So yeah, we're just trying to develop the gluten into it and get that yeast working so it rises into a lovely dough. So I'll probably check in within the next couple of minutes just to show you guys how it's getting on. So this is about the halfway point, so as you can see it's getting quite nice, so don't stop there. You're going to keep going for another 5 minutes and I'll show you guys what it looks like once that's done. Don't worry about me breathing, it's quite a workout. So if you need to get it in by doing this. So this is what our dough looks after 10 minutes. As you can tell, it's quite springy, so that's a good sign that the gluten's developed and it's stretchy, which is good. So as you can see, I've got my lovely little kind of cooker thing here. So this has got a bread rise option. So I'm just going to coat the inside of that with oil, so then the bread doesn't stick when it rises. If you haven't got one of these, or you haven't got anywhere warm to kind of store it, best place for you to do is to just get like a bowl, put some oil in it, get it in a warm place for a couple of hours. If not, then you can put it in the fridge overnight, and then that will kind of do a slow rise, which is good. So whichever option suits you. I'm going to grease the top though, just in case it does decide it's going to come up that far. So we're going to put it up into a kind of little dough ball, pop him in, close the lid, pop him on bread rise. So I'm going to pop him on for a couple of hours, and then I'll just keep checking on it to see how we get on, and then we can get on to putting it in our tins then. So now we can take our lovely dough out. Whoop. It's risen a bit more. Look at that. Isn't he a big boy? Pop him out. Bloop. Put that back in for now. And we're just going to kind of get it like that, so it's a bit more podgy. And then we're gonna probably take a third of that,
yeah,
and pop them in there, and then put the other 2/3 into the cooker. You what? Huh? Huh?
Is that leftover milk chocolate?
It was, yeah. So I'm just going to take that and form it and put it in the tin. I'll see how I get on. I may need to add more, but I've got plenty here anyway, so I'll come back to you guys in a minute. So that's our bread in our grease tin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a tea towel and pop it over, pop them in a warm place for half an hour, 40 minutes depending. So I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to restart my bread timer as well. Put that at 30 minutes as well, so that gives that one enough time to rise, and then I'll come back to you guys once that's done. So while this is having its last couple of minutes, I've preheated the oven to 220, so that's 200 fan, and gas mark 6, I think. I will have to check that. Yeah, I just kind of checked on it and it's getting there, which is nice. So I'll just do my little split down the middle in a minute. Well, I'm waiting until the oven heats up. So this one, in terms of my slow cooker, my spaceship, it's only got 3 minutes left. So then it'll be a case I'll put them on bake for half an hour and then flip it for 10 minutes. And then that one in there will be done. And then we're just waiting on this one here. So it shouldn't be too much longer. So if you're doing it in a kind of thing like this, then you're going to need it on for an hour. Boop. And then you flip it over and do it for 15 minutes. I've just looked at the little guidebook and I completely messed it up. So yeah, put it on for an hour on this one, flip it over, pop it in for 15 minutes again, and then that one should be done. So I've just taken the cover off this one. So you can see it's quite well risen, which is nice. I kind of don't want to cut the top, so I'm just going to pop them in the oven like that. So yeah, bake at 220, 200 fan, gas mark 7, I should say, not 6 like I said. Ignore that. And that'll go in for, I think it's 10 minutes. And then you turn the temperature down. So I'll just check that. Okay, so at 220, 200, gas mark 7 for 15 minutes. And then you put it in at 190, you turn the temperature down, so 170 fan, gas mark 5 for 30 minutes. And then you just need to make sure that it sounds hollow. when you tap the bottom of it, because then you'll know that's cooked then. So I'll show you guys once I've got it out of the oven. So that is Mr. Loaf done out the oven. He was in not that long, to be fair, but as you can hear, he's quite hollow, so he's done. So that is pretty much that. The other one's in the spaceship still at the moment, so we're just waiting on that one. And then it'll be a case of they'll be ready to go. So if you like this one, guys, go like, comment, subscribe. See all you lovely people in my next cooking video. So see you later.